This is someone we haven't watched for a little bit. We're watching Linus. And this is Linus. He hired randoms on Facebook to build him a gaming PC. So, I am curious what's going to happen here if he just gets randoms to build him a gaming PC, because God knows there are plenty of people out there that think, oh yeah, I can build a gaming PC. Like me, people suggest me, well, why don't you just build your own? And I flat out say, because I know that building a PC is outside of my skill set. So I will not pretend like, oh yeah, just because I know things about computers doesn't mean I know how to build a gaming PC. So this should be interesting. How to see Asperger's has been since categorized with autism. It's just one of the spectral degrees of autism. So, I must say, this hair threw me off. Linus with blonde hair just looks weird to me. It looks weird. So, let's check this out.
Sites like Craigslist and Facebook are full of people who offer custom PC building services. But should you trust them with your gaming budget? I'm going to contact completely random.
Okay, right off the bat, I know I'm stopping fast. I'm surprised he's holding up American currency right now. Considering Linus is Canadian, I'm surprised he's holding up American currency and not Canadian currency.
People on Facebook Marketplace, give them my money, and then just pray I don't get scammed. The rules are simple. Each builder gets a budget of 1,250 Canadian rubles, and then a different member of our team is going to go under 1,250 Canadian.
1,250 Canadian dollars to build a gaming PC? You can't build a decent gaming PC with 1,250 Canadian or 917 USD. It was a joke, Steve. It was a joke, Steve. Rubles was a joke. But I don't think you could buy. Yeah, I don't think you could build a decent gaming PC with $1,250. I don't. Yeah, I mean, you could scrape something together, but it's not going to be good.
In rubles, and then a different member of our team is going to go undercover, meet these guys in person, and bring back something, I hope. Then I will judge the quality of their craftsmanship, drag race the PCs, and at the end, maybe even meet our builders in person.
Sure. 2,000 to 3,000 how to, Steve. 2 to 3.
Oh. Hey, that's one of them now. Yeah, Radeon 7600. That sounds good. But do you also have Segway to our sponsor? MSI, their Mag Pano M100R PZ case has a cool 270-degree glass view. It fits a 360mm AIO cooler, and it comes with awesome ARGB lighting for an epic look. Check it out at the link in the video description.
Good night, Moros.
Our opening line was the same for every builder. Here's my budget. I need a gaming PC.
Okay, here's my budget. I need a gaming PC. Sure. So what exactly is the budget for this? $1,250. Sure, I can help you, and trust me, bro, you definitely won't get scammed. He. Yeah, I mean, 1,500. Like, you can get like a decent gaming PC for 1,500. A Primo, you can get a decent gaming PC for $1,500. $1,250, you're getting like bare bones gaming, like bare bones with an out-of-date graphics card. Like basically, you'd be looking like at a couple generation old i5, 8 gigs of RAM, and probably my graphics card, the RTX 3060. That's what you would get for $1,250 these days, I think. That, nothing very. It'll work, but nothing great.
See, there were other requirements that we kind of had in mind, but there's a catch. If they wanted that information, they had to
Wait. Must have Wi-Fi. Okay, that's standard on all boards these days. Must have 1 terabyte of SSD storage. That's pretty standard these days. Must be able to play AAA games at 1440p? And you only want to spend $1,250. I would be questioning about the parts that are getting stuck into this thing.
In mind, but there's a catch. If they wanted that information, they had to
That last
specifically
part.
ask us for it. That's going to affect their communication score. Then we're going to
Wait.
specifically ask, but there's a catch. If they wanted that information, they had to specifically ask us for it. That's going to affect their communication score. Then we're going to rate
Steve, I was born and raised in America, and I moved to Canada. I moved to Canada about halfway through my life. I moved to Canada, so I've been in Canada for a good number of years now.
each system for quality, performance, value, and beauty. At the end, whoever has the highest rank will get the PC returned to them for free so they can resell it. As for who comes last, they go on the wall of shame. Let's start with Jason's system. We decided to purchase from him because he seemed experienced with an Instagram and website specifically for showing off PC builds. Look at this. He even gave us an invoice.
Good night,
Unfortunately,
Boros.
what he also gave us is one of the weirdest systems that I think I've seen.
Okay. Intel i9 12900 series, clocking at 2.3 gigahertz. And bear in mind, this video is recent. This video is recent, and your standard desktop PC should be running, especially an i9. You would want that thing running at probably a minimum 4 gigahertz. PNY XLR8 Gaming Virtual RTX 4060 with 8 gigabytes. Really? Okay. Samsung 16 gig DDR4 at 2666 MTS. Okay. Motherboard is a Soyo. I've never even heard of those. PSU is GameMax. SSD is a Fluid Disk. Oh, I've never. AirHat M.2. I've never heard of that. Yeah. This is the most screwed up build. This is one of the most screwed up builds I've ever seen. And what does mobile engineering sample mean? I'm not even yeah, this build is all shades of fucked up. It really is. Holy cow. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, right, your i7 is running at a higher clock speed than this i9. What the hell? Oh god. I wonder what's gonna happen when he runs it through a stress test.
Seen in a very long time. I've never even heard of Menmu brand. GameMax
Me neither.
only showed up on my radar when one of their power supplies blew up during labs testing recently.
Oh
and
god.
using a mobile engineering sample CPU? Also, Soyo motherboard?
I've never even heard of this brand.
Oh, I have, but not since the early 2000s.
I mean, I guess they have a storied history since 1985.
Yeah, that's not the kind of story that I would tell my kids at bedtime.
Oh shit. Thank you, Steve. He used a motherboard from a builder that was bankrupt. Wow.
Might keep them up late, if you know what I mean. Why did we end up with 2 power supply boxes?
I don't know. He gave us 2 power supply boxes.
Like, was there something
Okay,
in it?
Falcon.
No, he also gave us a different CPU cooler box.
Oh, then the one that this is a completely different cooler.
Yeah, and also there's nothing in any of these boxes.
I'm very interested to see how this performs, especially with that slow memory, but I can't. Wait, do you leave the plastic peel on that fan?
Yeah, I mean, the memory is only, what was it, 2600 megahertz memory? When, at minimum, you want 32. Like, my fucking computer is 32 megahertz of memory. Why would you stick 26 in there? Like, oh my god, he could have spent like a little bit of that money. He's still got money left over. He could have spent that little bit of money to get memory that actually ran at 3200. So,
I was gonna go easy on him for build quality, but I'm sorry. This is a 3 out of 10.
Oh, it gets so much worse. You don't even know.
We'll get to that later. How is this communication though? We got this nice.
So Cryptic, Linus is basically contacting people. He said on Facebook, but it may have been from other areas too. Like random people to build him a gaming PC with a budget of $1,250 Canadian. And we're looking at this first build, and this guy cobbled it together with parts that just had all of this going. What? Like none of it made sense. One of the Mobo, I think he said I think it was the Mobo was a brand that actually went bankrupt. So questionable there. RAM that is grossly underpowered despite it being 16 gigs. A PNY RTX 4060 with 8 gigs. And we get a 12th generation i9 that's only clocking in at 2.9 gigahertz. So
Nice invoice. Total may differ by plus or minus 1 cent due to rounding error.
Yeah, I mean, the invoice shows he was professional. He answered our messages quickly. He offered things like, do we want...
Okay, let's see. No worries, sounds good. The 3070 is 20 to 30% faster than the 4060. Even larger difference in applications, but is one generation older, so it may lack some of NVIDIA's latest features. I would still pick the 3070 if you're looking to game at the highest resolution with the highest frame rate. The show us to note the 3070 is pre-honed, whereas the 4060 is new if you mind the condition. Okay.
Want used parts or new parts, so to save a couple of bucks.
That's good to know.
He was upfront about some of the weirdness, like getting the engineering sample, though.
Just confirm the i9 is an engineering sample, which is what the ES stands for. This means the name may not display properly in Windows, but has the same performance characteristics as the 12900 HX chip. I look up some info from 12. Is this a laptop CPU? It is a laptop CPU adapted to fit a desktop motherboard. So he put a laptop CPU into a desktop. Yeah. It's the same performance as the desktop, though, since it has the same core count and extremely similar clocks. Oh, God. Wow. Yeah, and I mean, Marshall, yeah, red flags all over the damn place. This is, yeah, he was upfront about it. Patra, there is a redeem for that. Yeah, underpowered as hell. You know, I mean, holy shit.
Maybe not as upfront as he should have been. He kind of just said that, hey, it's going to be an engineering sample, and it won't show up in Windows.
Right, but that doesn't address the complete lack of warranty, the potential reliability issues, and potential performance issues.
Yeah, he also said that it would perform the same as a 12900K.
No.
And when we went to go pick it up, well, Reese, what did you say?
He was professional. It looks like he had done this before. You know, he's obviously a salesman, kind of good at selling the product that he's selling.
Right, but you already bought it.
But I already bought it. So, I don't know, he was a nice guy. He was a very nice guy.
Why did we end up with random boxes, Reese?
He like had the computer set up, and I went up and tried it. Everything worked fine. And he just like, oh, grab the boxes. Like, okay. And I just grabbed what was there, so.
Mad Dog, my guess is probably whatever supplier he has. Maybe they had those available at a cheaper price, and he may have, you know, and it wasn't a prototype. Bear in mind, Mida, it's not a prototype. It's a laptop CPU refigured to fit in a desktop CPU, into a desktop board. So you can get those. Probably not difficult, and he was able to get it from the supplier, but he's marketing them as being good for desktops. when they're not going to have the same performance. Oh, yeah. No, he said it was an engineering sample. That's what, maybe he mistook that. He said it was engineering sample, not prototype.
He didn't tell me yes or no. I just grabbed all the boxes that were available.
Did he have like other systems being built or at the same time, or?
I think he said he had other ones on the go.
For communication, what would you rank him?
I'll say 8.
I'll say online, maybe a 6.
They probably go on the market
Call it a
cryptic.
7.
Sure. But the next guy Reese said was the nicest person he'd ever met.
Really?
I don't know if I said that, but he is very nice.
For one thing, he didn't charge us a building fee. Every dollar is accounted for here. 6-core Ryzen 5000 processor, ASRock motherboard, Kingston.
Oh, we're in the next guy. Oh, okay, this is the next computer. I didn't realize we were jumping in the next computer.
Accounted
Okay.
for here. 6-core Ryzen.
All right. So Ryzen 5 5600, decent. Gigabyte redeeming OC, Radeon 7700 XT with 12 gigabytes. Not bad. I prefer NVIDIA. They've got a little bit more oomph to them, but the Radeon cards are good. Yeah, just now. Apparently, Alex, just now. They're gonna do the torture testing after they've reviewed the builds on all 3. So they're gonna review 3 different builds, and then they're going to torture test them. So that's how they're doing it. Yeah, I mean, Radeon's good. Make no mistake. And, Cabbage, thank you for the follow. Well, I would compare Ryzen 5 to like an i5. Usually the way I look at comparisons, i5 to Ryzen 5, i7 to Ryzen 7, i9 to Ryzen 9. That's usually how I do my comparisons. No, Hitomi, Corridor Digital is a special effects company. Completely different. Linus is all tech stuff. Corridor Digital is special effects. Let's see, Corsair Vengeance. 16, which I actually have Corsair Vengeance sitting in my computer right now. That's when I bought to upgrade my RAM. Corsair Vengeance, I got, 2 16 gigabyte sticks, so I got 32 gigs RAM at 3200 megahertz. So I've actually got I've got this very RAM in my computer. It's good RAM. Let's see, ASRock B550 Phantom, Gaming and ATX, AM4 motherboard. I don't know anything about ASRock, but... Oh, was there a Tomy? Okay, I don't think I saw that one. Let's see, Cooler Master, Gold, Cooler Master, always good choice. Kingston, 1 terabyte NVMe. Okay, Kingston's fine. I prefer Samsung. Or Western Digital, maybe even Corsair on my, for my SSDs, especially on gaming PC. But Kingston is fine. Case Monotech X3 Mesh ATX. I do not know this case, so yeah, I mean the Evo Plus, yes. However, with the I'm thinking Pro. The Pros needed to get firmware update because they were like killing themselves. Okay, Cryptic.
Ryzen 5000 processor, ASRock motherboard, Kingston NVMe SSD, and an RX 7700 XT GPU. Oh, look at that, a brand name power supply. Okay. In terms of quality, is this 3 times the quality of the one we just looked at? I think so.
Yeah.
But how was his communication?
He was great. He was understanding when we had to reschedule.
See, something popped up. I know it's ours, but could I drop off at 4:30 today? I'm comfortable with leaving it with your brother. Should be fine. I'll call him. Great. Let me know. Yeah, he's home now, so whenever works, just knock on the door because their doorbell isn't working. Okay.
He was very prompt and clear. He even offered us multiple ways to pay him.
Oh, yeah,
we could
Kingston.
do a 50% deposit.
Yeah, Spectre. Kingston is decent. Kingston is perfectly decent. But like the Samsung and Western Digital and Corsair, they actually make SSDs made with like a higher transfer rate, which is better for the gaming, which is why I prefer Samsung or Western Digital or Corsair, something with a higher transfer rate than Kingston. Kingston is fine. It's absolutely fine. For gaming, I would prefer something a different brand. For a different brand and quality for it, just for strictly speaking for gaming purposes, because you want that higher transfer rate. Let's see. This will trade to me. Um, well, he had a Cooler Master PSU in this one, so name brand PSU in this one, Cooler Master. See, okay, awesome. If you want to move forward with it, there are a couple ways to do it. You can order the parts and bring them to me, or I can take a 50% deposit, build the PC, and then collect the radio and pick up. I don't charge labor either way, so it's completely up to you which method you prefer. Let me know what works best to you, and you talk to my partner, but I'll do the payment, but I'll get back to you tomorrow. Okay. Wow. He doesn't take money to build it. He doesn't charge labor. How is this man making money? How is this man making any money? Wow.
It, and he would order all the parts himself.
That's a little risky.
Yeah.
Or
we could just bring the parts to him and he would build it for us.
wait, for free?
Yeah.
What's his business model?
He says he just has free time and he likes building computers.
Holy shit, you're right. Hatton, you're right. Just does it for fun and works for a living. Maybe. But but Rygat, he said that he could pick up the parts or they could bring him the parts. It was optional. They could so I think and what it was is if he had to pick up the parts, then he would need a 50% down payment first. If he was going to pick up the parts, I think.
So 10 for communication?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to need another field for business savvy because Keaton is setting very unrealistic expectations. I mean, was the pickup perfect too?
Bro, he's doing it for the love of the game. I love the guy. I think he's perfect. I'm going to give 10s across the board, just so you, heads up.
Reach out. We want to be friends with you.
We want to be friends with you.
All right. How about Miroslav? You nicknamed this one Teenage Engineer.
Okay. Now we are going to be moving on to computer number 3.
All right. How about Miroslav? You nicknamed this one Teenage Engineering, but I couldn't help noticing that's an NZXT case.
Yeah, well, Miroslav is like 17 years old, and the reason he's selling computers is because he's trying to save up for college.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So he's certainly more profit motivated than Keaton. Though, I gotta give him credit, this is a pretty nice build.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Okay. Ryzen 7 5700. Nice. Acer Prayer Bifrost AMD Radeon RX 7600. Okay. Team Group T-Force Delta 16 gigs RAM at 3200 MTS. Okay, Team Group is good. Team Group is perfectly good. And you know what? Team Group is good, and they're not expensive either. That's the nice thing. Team Group makes nice computer hardware, and they're not very expensive. So, okay. Gigabyte B550 mobile, deep cool, 850 watt plus gold PSU. I'm not familiar with deep cool. Alex, are you talking about their GPUs? Their, because that's what it was, the Acer GPU? Nobody's had a good experience with them? Oh yeah, Team Group T-Force Vulcan SATA. Ooh. Oh, yeah. That's not great in this day and age. That is not great. I mean, it's Team Group, so quality-wise is fine, but ooh. That's not great. They're sanctioned now. Oh shit. Oh boy. And then the case is an NZXT H5 Flow Compact ATX. I've never heard of them. So some questionable choices here then. Some questionable choices.
A couple of tweaks that I think I would make. Like he got a SATA SSD instead of an NVMe SSD.
Ooh, you're not.
Wait, how the fuck does he have that mounted?
Like he got a SATA.
How the fuck? This is how he's mounting the hard drive in the case? He's literally just screwing it into the side of the case? Right, yeah, a SATA SSD is nowhere near as fast as an M.2 NVMe drive. That's why everybody's wincing and going, oh my heart. I don't know. This is like, it's kind of exposed. Usually I'm used to see. There is some kind of a bracket. I just don't know. It's like mounting it onto the side of the case like this. It just feels wrong. But that could just be me. I'm used to seeing, SATA drives mounted like in a rack in a computer. So that could just be me. Um, Maybe, I don't know. It could be. It could absolutely be made to be mounted like this. It's just like, to my eyes. I'm to my eyes, this just makes me wince because I'm not used to seeing hard drives, and it does look like it's properly mounted. I'm not used to seeing hard drives mounted, SATA hard drives mounted like this. It feels wrong. Doesn't mean that it's not going to function properly at all. It just feels wrong. That's all. It's my own little foibles.
SATA SSD instead of an NVMe SSD.
Ooh, you're not even really saving money on that.
Yeah.
No,
but,
and that's it. You're not.
Still meets our criteria of a 1 terabyte SSD.
Yeah, and his build fee, 100 Canadian.
And you said you're not really saving money? They had like, what, $70 left over at the end of the day because it costs like $11.80. So an NVMe might have cost an NVMe of comparable. Who knows? Maybe. Well, that's the question, Niggy. The real question is, would exchanging the SATA for an NVMe have raised the price over $70? That's the question. And the other thing is, where is he getting his parts from? That's the other. Like, I'm not sure if they are supplying. Well, no, because of this face, they didn't supply the parts. So it's another question: is where is he getting his parts from? If he's sourcing them locally, then maybe the place that he shops at only had the SATA and did not have any NVMEs. That's possible, but I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm guessing it's an issue of supply for him. He maybe he could not get his hands on an M.2. And the Mayan guy, thank you for the follow, welcome.
Canadian dollars? That's pretty reasonable. That's only about 70 US.
He was also happy to throw in extra fans at a discount.
Oh, that's nice of him.
Yeah.
Did we ask if he was
How?
willing to throw in extra cable management and extra peeling the plastic off of our motherboard heat sink?
Oh
Nope.
my.
It's got the world's most overcompensating Wi-Fi antennas though, so that's good. I'm gonna have to dock a couple build quality points for sloppiness, but I'm gonna give one of them back for going with quality cooling and a quality power supply. Those are the kinds of things that are very easy for people to cheap.
Remember that Intel engineering sample processor guidance for they're not meant to be sold to anyone. If they're loaned out for testing by OEMs, they're meant to be returned and either filed or scrapped. Yeah, well, Cryptic, how many do you think how many of them do you think may have fallen off the back of a truck? Baby?
Out on and take advantage of a not very knowledgeable customer, and Miroslav chose not to do that.
He was really helpful in other ways. Like, instead of just looking at prices on PC Part Picker, he actually went and found like bundles on like Canada Computers. However, the bundle we ended up getting basically was the...
Wait a minute. So that's how he sourced his parts. He did not pick the parts individually. He just got bundles. Okay, so in effect, it kind of was a supply issue. It actually was kind of a supply issue in the end because he just picked a bundle. No, I don't know if it's a cheat. I don't know if it could be considered a cheat. Cheat, maybe, but not cheat. Good night, Bri. Have a good night. Yeah, this may have been a cheap way of doing it. Where it's like, okay, I'll just get a bundle and they'll ship everything to me and I don't have to think about which parts to get. That's that that's it feels to me that that's what this kid did. And yeah, I'll still occasionally watch Linus if they're discussing a topic of interest. Um, well, hey, tell me, what do you mean cheating? How is he cheating? I don't get it. How is he cheating? But yeah, I'll also watch Linus if they're talking about something of interest. Yeah, I know they've had their issues, but generally speaking, this is a team of guys that does know what they're talking about when it comes to computers. So I will, occasionally tune in to listen to them if it's about something interesting.
On like Canada computers. However, the bundle we ended up getting basically was the literal price of buying each of the individual components alone. So neither here nor there.
All right. I mean, they're good parts.
Yeah, it was an A for effort.
I probably would have done what Keaton did and spent a little more on GPU and a little less on CPU. But depending on what we were trying to accomplish, this is a perfectly reasonable parts list as well. How was the pickup?
Good. A little bit awkward.
No, well, see, here's the thing, Adobe. I don't know if I'd consider that cheating. He's just building a computer for them. So he just basically got a complete build parts list, and that's what was bought. It's not like he did not build the computer. There was a compiled parts list of, okay, here's a parts list of to make a gaming computer, and Canada Computers just has this pre-done up parts list, and you just said, okay, we'll choose that, and that's it. So
He's a young guy. I think I was pretty awkward at that age as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just at that age.
Yeah, thank you. His communication over Facebook was actually really good. He sent some photos of.
let's see. Hi, this is two small things I'd like to know about. I'm unsure how big of an issue is for you, but your case has some minor scratch and bends. I'll send photos in a second. Okay, I see it there. I'm not sure where. Maybe there's a scratch here. I can't tell. There's small but I just want to know in case you'd like to return it. Oh shoot, as long as it doesn't affect your building computer, that's okay. I could live with it. Thanks for letting me know. Okay.
The case I got slightly damaged in transit. I can't see it from here.
Oh yeah,
but
I see it.
Yeah, very slight damages, but he was very upfront with that.
Right, yeah, you're right. He got the value meal instead of buying it a la carte. Absolutely. But he's a 17-year-old kid. So follow the line. Hang on.
As well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just at that age.
Yeah, thank you. His communication over Facebook was actually really good. He sent some photos.
Oh, you mean this line? Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Like right here. Right here. Yeah, I can see it. Mm-hmm.
Of the case I got slightly damaged in transit. I can't see it from here.
Oh yeah,
but
I see it.
Yeah, very slight damages, but he was very upfront with that, which was nice.
That's great. 9? 8?
7.
I think 7. 8. So far, the professional's not looking so hot.
But the professional might have the performance where it counts.
With that, 12 Gen i9 running at 2.3 clock speed? I don't think so.
Let's pretend we don't know that.
Oh, okay, this is true. Maybe.
Leave them some suspense for crying out loud. Now to begin the drag race.
Yeah, and Nihi, you're right. Like, we need, like... When I get my new computer, I'm getting a 7th gen. I'm thinking I'm probably going to get a 7th gen Ryzen instead of a 9th gen, because from everything I've been hearing, the 9th gen only has a tiny improvement upon the 7th gen for the Ryzen series. Like, I was looking at getting, like, a Ryzen 7 7000 30X for the CPU, and I honestly probably was not going to go with a Ryzen 7 9th generation because, like I said, the improvements that they've made in the 9th series, in the 9000 series, is not great. It's not great, so I'll probably just stick with the 7000 series, because it seems to be a real banger. It's like, It's performing damn well. Now, who knows, maybe I'll up it to a Ryzen 9 when I finally go through the build. I'm not sure. Honestly, I hesitate because I don't know if I need the massive processing quality of a Ryzen 9. I honestly don't think I need that much processing power. But, as the time gets closer, I'll look and consider.
3, 2, 1. And I can already tell that it's not going to be close, Adam. We are dipping down to 50, 55 FPS on both the professional and teenage engineering. Did I see that go over 100?
Teenage engineering is screaming right now. It's
Yeah,
loud.
what is up with that?
Well, Tysa, yeah, there's future-proofing, but the 7000 series is still kind of future-proofed. The 7000 series is on the same board as the 9000 series is. So if I need to upgrade to whatever Ryzen comes next, the board should still be able to take it and I can swap up the CPU. So
I think it's because of the GPU. It has a Predator Bifrost, which is like a half blower style card.
I think he just didn't really tune the fan curves.
Interesting. He actually did install fan control on this for us.
And he put a nice big CPU heatsink in here. So maybe he just doesn't get bothered by noise and he thought, well, let's get everything to run as cool as possible. His temps should be really good.
We have ray tracing off right now, but it is crazy how neck and neck the 4060 and the 7600 are. They're basically the exact same. Though if we turned ray tracing on, this would easily take the lead.
Yeah. Are you turning ray tracing on a mid-tier card though?
I mean,
I guess you can.
you can. You got DLSS and stuff.
But we're getting 60 FPS now.
Yeah, I know, and it looks pretty good.
Mind you, we are running at 1440p, and the vast majority of people are still gaming at 1080p. So you could probably run at 1080 with ray tracing and get similar performance. Where did we land in terms of thermals, though? The hobbyist was sitting at a peak of about 70 degrees on the CPU and 55 on the GPU. Meanwhile, as expected, Teenage Engineering didn't manage to get above 54 on the CPU.
Damn, yeah, this kid actually went all in on this cooling. That CPU is frosty. Sitting at 54 degrees. Yeah, that's a nicely cooled CPU there. Gotta give credit there.
And was at about 58 on the GPU. So clearly there's some headroom for us to turn those fans down if we really wanted to. As for that mobile CPU, 58 degrees max. And on our GPU, we ended up hitting about 7.
Okay, 58 degrees on the mobile CPU is not surprising because if I'm not mistaken, mobile CPUs, I think are designed to run, they're designed to run in a different format, a physical format. Mobile CPUs are designed to run in a format where they are very tightly surrounded by the casing of a laptop. So they have to be designed to run cooler. You stick them into a desktop where there's all this airflow to work with and big fans to circulate that airflow. Yeah, they are gonna run cooler for sure. But the problem is they're not as powerful as the desktop CPUs. That's where you're going to be running into problems. But that GPU is running at 70 degrees, so that GPU is running kind of hot.
70. The Professional is not the best system so far.
No.
But that could change in Cinebench. Let's see if all those extra cores are going to help out.
Correct, they also don't need the wattage.
12900 HK? HX. All right, ready?
Yes.
Whoa, brother.
Wow.
It may be an engineering sample, but it's professional engineering, apparently.
It does have just core numbers on its side, right? That's 24 threads versus a 12 thread and a 16 thread.
This is as not close as that last one was in favor of the hobbyist.
Interesting.
If you are doing something that benefits from multi-threading, like say you do a lot of video encoding on CPU, the Professional, looking pretty good for the money.
Well,
That's a laptop chip.
I know, right?
And the 5600 is a,
Well, it's a great choice for gaming.
yeah, cheapest CPU of the lot.
And that is what we asked for. We asked for
and that's the crux of it. they asked for a gaming computer, not a video editing computer. So that is a factor. Yeah. Wait. Okay, Kaiso, good luck. Yeah, that is the factor. This is for like video encoding, which is a totally different process from gaming. So if you're asking for a gaming computer, you're not worried about the multi-threading. The gaming, running a game is you don't need to worry about the multi-threading issue. So, while the multi-threading is definitely better for the use case, it's not the same thing. And that's what Linus is pointing. That's what Linus just now pointed out. And they were asking for a gaming PC. Now, I don't know, are they going to get into... Yeah, they did talk about it because they didn't talk about if the builders inquired, hey, how are you going to be using this? What kind of programs are you going to be running on it? Is it just gaming, or is it, are you going to be doing other stuff with it to try and balance out gaming and use? So that's something that Linus isn't talking about, that mentioned at the very beginning. If there's communication where they said, yeah, we're also going to be doing some video encoding, that might have influenced the decision of putting that processor in there, so that for the video encoding purposes. But we don't know because they didn't talk about that. They didn't talk about their discussions there.
1440p gaming, and the hobbyist gave us a better GPU and a lower tier CPU. And you can really see that in the results here. Just 11,000 points compared to 14,000 and 19,500.
But the professional promised that had the same performance as a 12900K. What's the score of a 12900K?
25,000, 27,000.
Little bit of difference here. Little bit of difference with an actual desktop i9 12900K. So that's kind of a negative in saying, oh, it's just the same as a regular Intel i9 1200 series. No Godzilla, nothing blew up yet. Although we did see Cinebench scores, and the hobbyist scored lowest. The teenage builder scored mid-range, and the professional scored highest using that i9 mobile chip. However, the i9 mobile chip scored like 19,000 for Cinebench, whereas an actual i9 non-mobile version scores 25,000. So he was not exactly honest about the quality of the CPU. Wop wop.
So it's not as good.
Not even close. This is pretty typical for engineering sample chips, you see, because they're often not finished. And that even ignores that this poor motherboard is going to have no idea what to do with this thing in terms of power limits. We maxed out at 125 watts, which is...
Well, Pactra, this particular builder was supposed to be professional. So I don't know how much the misinformed idea holds water, honestly.
Kind of within
the default limit.
Spec, but it clearly never stretched beyond that. Oh boy, I can already tell in the menu again that Teenage Engineering is not going to be able to keep up with the hobbyist.
It's so loud.
Now we're looking at Baldur's Gate 3 at 1440p, ultra details with no resolution scaling, and once again, the competition is not close. The 1% lows on the hobbyist, thanks to that 7700 XT GPU, are higher than the average frame rates on both of our other systems. To be clear,
Wow.
either of these is going to deliver a really smooth gaming experience in Baldur's Gate 3. It just won't be nearly as smooth as the hobbyist. Between the other two, though, the GeForce 4060 manages to outclass the Radeon 7600, showing you guys that as bad as NVIDIA's current generation is, their competition manages to make them look okay. And
that's what I was saying. That's why, Tycel, you're 07. Well, You'll get through it. You'll get through it. But yeah, this is why I'm going with an NVIDIA card for, for my next computer instead of a Radeon card. NVIDIA just performs better than Radeon. It simply does.
And that engineering sample CPU doesn't seem to be holding it back here, in spite of it not being the same as a 12900K.
Should we give them a score, or should we just like rank them first to third?
Either way is going to be complicated, because depending on the application, they're going to vary a little bit. Yeah, the hobbyist ran away with it in gaming performance, but even if your focus is gaming, it's never a bad idea to have a well-rounded system. And you've got to give the professional and teenage engineering some credit here. So I'm going to say maybe, 8 for the hobbyist, because we did give up a lot in terms of multi-threaded performance, but given how much the other ones gave up everywhere else, I'd say at best they can have a 5.
5's perfectly adequate.
It really
right in
is.
the middle.
It's a pass.
Yeah.
Now we turn to
Which one are you talking about? The hobbyist? Yeah, you're right. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, did they have communication where they said they were going to be doing more, or they just wanted to get a gaming computer to game on? Because if they said, I just want a gaming computer, dude gave them a gaming computer. 100%.
value. And you might think, oh, well, Linus, that's simple. It's just performance versus how much you paid. But I see a value in, for example, having a warranty on my CPU. That's where the professional system falls apart. I see a value in having a power supply that's known more for powering computers than for powerful failures, like we've seen from this brand in our labs testing. So for me, the professional, I don't know, 3? 2? What is this generic RAM?
The generic RAM
I'm
is
thinking
32
two.
gigabytes of Samsung DDR4 running at 2666 megahertz CL19.
That's twice as much RAM as the other systems.
Yeah, it's at half the speed. It's slow as heck.
4.
Yeah.
In fairness to the
4?
Pro, those cut corners did allow him to undercut.
Yeah, Rygot, that's it. That's it exactly. The Pro was using some very shady shit. I would have probably looked at it too for that, because the majority of those components had me going, huh? And has me questioning about how well that computer is going to run for how long. Because if the quality of the components is not good, the propensity for failure is that much higher. So, yeah.
Cut everyone else on pricing, but for me, peace of mind is a big part of value, and I feel that both the hobbyist and teenage engineering blew him away there. For
Yeah,
beauty, I
absolutely.
think everyone captured the gamer aesthetic pretty well. Definite points for the hobbyist's use of RGB everywhere, but personally, I like to see a big heat sink more than I like to see flashy lights, so I think I'm going to give both of these a 9, or at least I would if I didn't look at the cable management at the back. Maybe-
Oh, God. Oh, that's an ouch. That's a bit of an ouch. That cable management right there. Oof. Yeah, that hurts. That definitely hurts. Why would he do his cable management like this? She was doing so well. So well. Oh God, that hurts. This would drive a lot of people nuts, Fenris. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of makes me wish I had some alcohol. And 504, you're right. I don't consider RGB like all that important. It isn't. Yes, I have RGB on my computer because it's an actual gaming computer, and that's what they stick on all gaming computers these days. But yeah, RGB is not the be-all, end-all of gaming computers. It's performance. And the reason why I think RGB became so fucking popular with gaming rigs is because of streamers. Because streamers, when they stream, they have their case sitting there, so you can see it on the stream. And of course, you have all the pretty lights. And it's supposed to add to the aesthetic of your stream as them being a gamer. So that's why I really think that's why RGB became so big. Now people are starting to realize it's no big fucking deal. Ow.
It's not worth $100 to me, but ironically, the one with the worst cable management at the front has far better cable management at the back than our hobbyist. It's more of a party in the back.
Yeah, but that's why it's behind closed doors, right?
Sorry, Keaton. I think I'm gonna have to dock you a point here. As for the Pro, Jason selected such a bare bones case that I think the best I could give it is probably an 8, and Adam promised that I would find some interesting surprises once I turned it around to the back. Plate is
Oh my god, look at this. Look at down here. Holy shit. Look at this. Oh. What is all this? This is just as bad as the other guy. This is as bad as the hobbyists. Yeah, this was the quote-unquote professional. Oh, God.
That plate is bowed out. That's not a good thing.
I don't know if that's to spec or not.
Nope, it's not. You know what it is? This is a mobile chip. It doesn't have an IHS, so it has to go down tighter in order to make contact. It is making contact. The thermals were fine, but that's why it's deeper than it would otherwise be.
Now I'm really curious because I saw listings for this online and they showed an image with an IHS.
Oh, no, you're right. There is an IHS on it. Okay, I have no idea then. I guess he just really gave her with the screw.
No, not the mobile, the back plate. This square back plate you saying was bowed. I don't think.
Cheer 100 reminds me of mine lol.
Oh, stone killer. Oh boy. Yeah, right here. You can see it right there. This back mount is bowed out. No, it not on the right. The right actually looks fairly smooth. It's definitely this left that's bowed out. The right, let me see if we can get a closer look again. Hang on. Yeah, so the right looks okay. The right does not look like it's bowed. It's definitely the left. I think it could just be the lighting and the angle. This look like these three sides look okay. This looks like it's bowed out.
Go down tighter. But that's why it's deeper than
IHS.
Oh, no, you're right. There is an IHS on it. Okay, I have no idea then. I guess he just really gave her with the screws.
You think he gave her with those screws? Just wait till you see the M.2 screw. While I was trying to figure out what kind of components were in the system so I could try and figure out a relative price to see if he ripped us off with this 1150 thing, look at the screw for the SSD.
He just chucked a random screw in here. There's no stand.
What? My fucking god. Oh my fucking god, are you serious? Okay, for those of you who are not computer enthusiasts, this is not a screw that you use to secure an M.2 drive. And I'm questioning why this M.2 drive has two sides with contacts, because this is where it's plugged in. What the fuck are these? These are contacts. What kind of drive is this? But yeah, this, like, you just put it on a screw. The screw that's used to hold in an M.2 is a flare, like a flared head. Like the head of it, it's short. Like the screw itself has a very short thread amount, very short, and the screw is flared. So it basically catches this semicircle half of the M.2 to hold it in place. I just don't know. This is just This is hurting my brain. Well, Falcon, Ambition, thank you for the follow. And Falcon, I'll be happy to give advice. I know some things. I don't know everything. I know some things. Like, I know how very wrong this is. I've never seen an M.2 with its back end having contacts like this. Unless that, no, that's gotta be it. Hang on, I need to see that again.
Look at the screw for the SSD.
He just chucked a random screw in.
Yeah. Why does this M.2 have contact points? Why does M.2 have contacts? Like, the copper around the hasp, that makes sense. You know, it's like a metal surface to screw the screw into, so you're not digging into plastic. But, well, no, it's not that. It's not backwards, because an M.2 has very distinct an M.2 has very distinct contact points and arrangements. Basically, it's you have like this much on one side, and then like a one piece gap here, and then more contacts. I maybe it's for aesthetics. You know what? It could just be an aesthetic choice. That these contacts don't actually mean anything, and it's just for looks. I could be just thinking way too much into this, and it's just a looks thing. And I suspect that's what it is. But this screw is unforgivable. This screw is absolutely unforgivable because with all the wiggling this thing has, that means that this drive can become detached. Okay, so it's probably NX. I'm guessing I'm probably overthinking it. As opposed just an aesthetics thing. I'm overthinking that. But the looseness, this M.2 could lose its connectivity. If it can bow up too much, if it can raise up too much, it's gonna lose its contact with the board. And it could do that at a very inopportune time.
In here, there's no standoff.
Yeah, and not just any random screw. A wood screw.
Oh, so it is.
Can you retroactively cut off?
6.
When you find stuff like this, it really makes you question every.
That would drop down. Hang on. Wait, hang on. I want to see the rest of it.
A wood screw.
Oh, so it is.
Can you retroactively?
That would have, if I was in Linus's shoes, having given this guy a 3, immediate drop that to 2. Immediate drop that to 2, because this is not just build quality, it's like the computer may not function right. If the computer gets bunked in a wrong way, that M.2 could disconnect.
6.
When you find stuff like this, it really makes you question everything else about the system.
With the scores tallied up, surprisingly, everybody gets a pass. Yeah, the professional was just barely, but to his credit, it is a functioning system, and he didn't ghost us or scam us outright. But it's clear that to actually win.
I don't know. With some of that build, I might be tempted to call it a scam. I'd be very. It's teetering right on the edge of being considered a scam. Right on the edge. They gave it a 50% pass because it functioned and it performed well. That's why they're giving it a pass. I'm thinking long term. Long term, that professional build is going to die well before these other two will. And that's not a pass in my opinion. Your computer should let a good computer, a good up-to-date computer at the time of purchase should by all rights last you a solid 10 years, with maybe a few very minor upgrades needed over the lifespan of that 10 years, such as maybe increasing the RAM or maybe changing out the hard drive. Other than that, a good, well-built computer that is up to date at the time of purchase should last you 10 years. I do not trust that professional build computer to last me 10 years. Not a chance.
In the challenge, we're only really looking at teenage engineering and the hobbyist. And at the end of the day, with the points we had to dock from teenage engineering for choosing a SATA SSD and going with a more powerful CPU for a 1440p gaming system, even ignoring the $100 build cost, which by the way is perfectly reasonable, we've got to give it to the hobbyist who we're about to meet.
How's it going?
Hey, Keaton, how's it going? It is Keaton, right?
Good.
Okay. Hang on. I forgot to get the screen recording started.
Oh my God,
It's
you
okay.
guys.
Hey, sorry, technical difficulties. Thanks for taking my call. Just to be upfront with you, there's nothing wrong with the computer. Have you ever heard of Linus Tech Tips?
Yes.
Okay, well, he'd like to say something to you. He's got some good news for you.
Hey, Keaton, nice system.
Oh, hey.
How you doing?
Thank you. Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
Hey, I just wanted to say, you built a heck of a system for the money, but I got a question. What's going on here? You didn't even charge us a build fee or anything like that. Do you really just do this for the fun of it?
I've been building computers since I was like 10 with my dad. I work from home as a project manager, so I have a lot of free time. I want to tinker with computers more often, but I don't want to go and buy used parts and get people good deals, things. I don't have that much time, but I figured I'd like just do free builds and make sure like, you know, the tweaking's done right. I don't know, I like helping people a lot, and I feel like computer stores are kind of like not where they used to be, and they're not really offering that kind of like premium service anymore.
So
Is that wrong?
the challenge was that we actually gave the same budget to 3 different people on Facebook Marketplace, chosen randomly. And whoever won, whoever gave us the best value system for our dollars, gets the system back so they can resell it to someone else. So it's not that I don't love it. You did a great job, but you won, man. So this is yours. It's free real estate.
Oh wow. Dude, that's crazy. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
So about how many of these systems do you do on a monthly basis? How many people reach out to you?
Usually probably do 1 to 2 a month. It's not like something
makes
that's
sense.
super common. I guess people like, partly think it's a trust barrier. It's like you don't want to leave parts with someone who you don't know.
Who does this
Yeah,
for fun?
absolutely.
What a weird thing.
Like, Linus is doing this guy a huge favor. Like, I might very well, like, you know, given what we've seen in this video, I might be inclined to have this guy build my computer for me. Like, considering how good of a job, and you know, the fact that he picked up good parts for it, cable management was a little off, but still, it's, you know, he did a good job. He did a really good job. And I mean, this is great advertising for him. So, who knows how many people are going to be reaching out to him for a computer build after this. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's probably why Linus is doing this, because since he did such a good build, he's trying to give the guy some promotion, I'm guessing. Hi, Cryptic, welcome back. Yeah, exactly right, Rygat. It's free advertising and high praise for someone that's big in the tech space. Yeah, this is great.
To tell people, you know?
I get how it sounds. But honestly, I like building computers. I like playing with computers. Yeah, it's a passion of mine, and I enjoy it, and I can do this and help people out at the same time. I think it's a really awesome thing to do.
Cool. All right, see you later, man.
Yeah, so awesome. Thanks so much.
We weren't able to get Teenage Engineering on a video call, but we reached out asking, hey, is this a viable side hustle? Like, about
Best Buy build both my PC Cheer 100.
Oh, yeah. See, I thought when I got my computer, I almost bought from Best Buy. I was actually, and thank God this didn't go through. I was actually going to be getting an HP gaming PC from Best Buy, but things went awry when I tried to make the purchase, so it kind of just was dead in the water. And after that, I said, okay, screw this. I'm going directly to the manufacturer, and that's how I ended up getting my Lenovo. Oh, shut up, Ragcat. And so I went directly through the manufacturer. The PC's been working great for 5 years. It was at a good price. I was able to get warranty for it a hell of a lot cheaper than buying it from some place like Best Buy. So, I mean, you know, if you're gonna get like a pre-built, like a name brand one, try to go through the manufacturer if you can. It's gonna be a lot cheaper, and you're gonna probably get better back-end stuff from the manufacturer versus going through a retail. And it's probably gonna be cheaper in the end as well.
Not pre-built, bought the parts and they build it for free since I'm a member Cheer 100.
Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't know Best Buy had that service available for members. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Right yet, cyber power is known to fail spectacularly frequently. Cyber power has a reputation for failure on a fairly wide scale. So that's why I kind of went, no.
How many systems do you do? And he said he's got about 4 of them on the go right now. So while it is difficult to break into, it looks like some people are making a go of it. So in conclusion, your mileage is absolutely going to vary, and being a savvy shopper, as always, is going to go a long way.
You might have been
towards
Rogat.
making
You might have
sure
been.
that you're getting the most for your money. But it's clear that there's a alive and well, or maybe even vibrant ecosystem of buyers and sellers on these marketplaces. So if you want to try your luck, hey, it might not be the stupidest thing in the world. And you might get super lucky and find someone like Keaton who just loves helping people. Or you might even find this segue to our sponsor.
Delete Me. You may know how to keep your digital identity
God, they're
private,
doing
but how
Delete Me
about
too.
those you care about? Delete Me's family plans cover not just you, but your loved ones as well. With their family account management, you can easily add and monitor personalized protection for each member of your family. This means reducing the risk of exposure, spam, and scams for both kids and adults. My wife, I tell you. It really is as simple as setting up everyone's profile and then leaving the rest to Delete Me's team to hunt down and remove data. Plus, if you're ever curious about what information is removed, Delete Me can send out quarterly personalized reports for everyone under your plan. So keep yourself and your family protected from data brokers. Hit up our link in the description and use the code LTT at checkout for 20% off any Delete Me plan.
If you guys enjoyed this video, you might enjoy the time we bought systems from the major system integrators rather than from randoms on Facebook Marketplace. Honestly, this seemed like kind of a better value overall, but hey, I'll let you guys be the judge. See you later.
Yeah, that was a very interesting video. And I mean, who would have thought that the hobbyist would have been a far better build than the teenager? Sure, that actually makes perfect sense. That he was better than the teenager. No big shock there. But then the guy who is, I guess, professional. Maybe he just calls himself professional. Who knows? But some guy that just does it on the side. It really goes to show you how passion plays a big role in doing something like this. Yeah, the team did better than the pro. And again, that goes into passion. The passion for what you do. Yep. Where the pro is probably just like, okay, I'm just going to slap this together just to make some money.